But it's not like the old customers are left in a lurch. It's not like they're getting a very bad product. It's just that there are minor improvements, minor change in premiums, etc. As a buyer of a term insurance plan, I want to make sure that my nominees get paid the full amount in my absence.
People had applied for claims with them. They had filed for the claim, but they weren't able to produce all the documentation required.
As a smoker, then you really have to reconsider HDFC Life as a term insurance.
Or your smoking habits.
Or your smoking habits. Perhaps that is a better alternative. Hello guys, we are back again with another video. This time once again about a term insurance policy and a product review, the kind that we've been doing in the recent past. This time again, we have our guest, an old guest, Sushant. As you already know, Sushant is one of our senior most advisors. He's a program manager here at Ditto, and he's advised well over 2,000, 3,000 clients, I believe. And along with this team, you could put that number up even higher. So welcome to the podcast again, Sushant, and I'm glad to have you here. So let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about HDFC Click2Protect Super. And let's get started right off the bat. Why is it called Click2Protect Super? Is there another variant of the product, or is it because this is a super variant of HDFC Life's term plan?
Thanks for having me back, Shrehith. Good to be back once again. No reason as such. In fact, they used to first have a variant called Click2Protect 3D Plus. Then they launched a variant called Click2Protect Life. And now I believe the latest one is called Click2Protect Super.
Got it.
So it's just a marketing sort of thing that HDFC does every couple of years, where they like to update their plans with new features.
Right.
Now, this doesn't mean existing customers can go back and say, I also want to upgrade to the new one.
Right.
It's just for new customers out there. Now it's slightly more enhanced features is what I would say.
Got it. Got it. But it's not like the old customers are left in a lurch. It's not like they're getting a very bad product. It's just that there are minor improvements, minor change in premiums, etc. So it's not something that customers should be worried about. This fact that there is a life and then there is a super and then there's something else, 3D, 4D, etc. Nothing
as such. Yeah, it's just to keep up with marketing trends, right? That this company is offering a new feature, so when they want to get on board with that.
Got it.
That's pretty much it.
And considering the fact that HDFC is such a big brand, does it feel like HDFC's numbers, you know, your claim settlement ratio, amount settlement ratio, your complaint volumes reflect that superiority, right, as a brand? Or is it that a brand is very superior, but when it comes to numbers, it falls flat? Because we've seen that as well, right? So how are the numbers like for HDFC Life?
So if I were to talk about claim settlement ratio, firstly, the most basic metric, that's pretty standard, right? About 98, 99% over the last 3 years. This is a number that we monitor over a 3-year average, and it's been consistently the same.
Right.
Coming to amount settlement ratio, that's where it was a bit concerning during COVID especially.
Got it. Why?
So once again, when we analyze the last 3 years, the average for amount settlement ratio would be somewhere about 90%.
Got it.
Now, it was 90% and during COVID, I think the 2020 and 2021 fiscal year, that's where it dropped to 80%, 82% if I'm not wrong.
This is deeply problematic, no? Because as a buyer of a term insurance plan, I want to make sure that my nominees get paid the full amount in my absence, right? That the last thing that I want to worry about is the fact that, okay, I have like a, you know, say 5 crore ka term plan, but it was not paid out for whatever reason because the amount is very high, or maybe the investigation triggered is very thorough, or maybe they found some very spurious link that, you know, something like this happens. And amount settlement ratio actually indicates this, because it says 100 rupee I claim, I get 80 rupee back. Not 90, not 95, just 80 rupee back as an aggregate of all customers. This is worrying, no?
This is a little worrying. So I think, at least when we sat with HDFC, right, and we tried to understand why did this number drop specifically during COVID, the reason that they gave us was that, look, people had applied for claims with them. They had filed for the claim, but they weren't able to produce all the documentation required.
Right.
Now, IRDA has a regulation for all insurers out there that if a claim has been filed for, HDFC needs to pass a decision on that claim within 120 days.
Right.
Now, a customer could be taking some time to produce all the necessary documentation, and this time runs out.
Got it.
So HDFC has no choice but to repudiate the claim at the end of that 120-day period, subject to the customer being able to come back and reopen the claim once he has all the necessary documentation in place.
Got it.
So just for that year, we noticed a dip, and the next year it was back to 90%.
Okay, so it's not like a pattern you're seeing.
It's not a pattern at all. It was just for that specific year, and because of that, sure, when we analyze the last 3 years average, the average has slightly dropped, right? You've got 90, 80 and 90.
Got it.
So that's somewhere settled at about 87% as of now.
Got it. And what about complaints? I mean, that should reflect with complaints as well, I assume, if they're skimping on claims, right?
Absolutely. And that's one of the lowest in the industry. So that gives you that confidence that, okay, look, this is HDFC at the end of the day.
Got it.
It's about 2.7 complaints for every 10,000 claims.
Got it.
Which is hands down one of the lowest we've seen.
Got it. So superior as a brand and very, very good with their numbers as well. So there's no discrepancy there.
Absolutely.
But what about this product, Click2Protect Super, right? What are the key unique features that this product has as opposed to other term plans in the market?
Nothing exceptional, I would say, but it has all the benefits that are generally offered.
Got
right?
it.
If I were to touch upon their riders firstly, their add-on waiver of premium.
Right.
That's one of the most comprehensive ones we've seen out there.
How so?
It covers about 60 critical illnesses in total, and they have a separate waiver of premium on disability as well.
Right.
But just on the critical illness one, there's about 60 illnesses that they cover.
So basically, if I'm diagnosed with these 60 critical illnesses, I will not have to pay premiums for future years, and I will still be covered under the term plan. That's what it says.
Critical illnesses like cancer, heart attack, and so on.
Got it. And with disabilities also, you're saying, you know, it's like an add-on. I'm permanently disabled, right? And then I don't have to pay my premiums. I will still hold on to the term plan. That's a premise. Yeah. Is it an add-on that I'll have to pay for, or is it inbuilt in the plan?
You don't need to pay a small amount for it.
Got it.
It's a slight additional premium that comes.
Got it. And what about the critical illness rider? All right. So I understand that waiver of premium for critical illnesses matter a lot. That I don't have to pay premiums if I'm ever diagnosed with something like this. But I think more importantly, I want to make sure that if I am diagnosed with a critical illness, there's a corpus of 30, 40 lakhs that I can just use on the side if I'm not working or if I have no external income, right? So what is the critical illness benefit like? What kind of money are we talking about? And are there any caps? Are there any caps on the illnesses? And how robust is the benefit in total?
Right. They do offer a very comprehensive option with the same 60 illnesses for a payout as well.
Got it.
And they also have a slightly cheaper variant offering 19 critical illnesses.
Got it.
So you have two options you can choose.
Got it.
And these would be paid out over and above your term insurance.
Got it. Got it.
So these aren't accelerated as we call it in term insurance, where your critical illness amount is reduced from your total term insurance cover.
Got it.
This is paid over and above the total sum insured of whatever you've chosen.
Got it. And do they have caps, strict caps saying that we are not going to offer your critical illness plan beyond this sum? Or is it a completely underwriting decision taken based on your income, your lifestyle habits, etc.?
So I think what HDFC does with their riders is in case you have a medical history or a medical condition like diabetes, they don't generally offer the riders because critical illnesses do have things like kidney problems, heart conditions and so on. Which could be caused due to diabetes, for example.
Got it.
So for that reason, they don't let you choose those riders. In terms of how much you can choose, they do have a cap where the premium you pay for your riders, that cannot exceed the premium you're paying for your base plan.
Got it.
So if you buy a 1 crore term insurance that costs 10-12,000, a 50 lakh critical illness rider could cost way more than that. So they won't let you choose that much.
Got it.
That's pretty much how the product is designed.
Got it. And outside of critical illness benefits, do they have things like zero cost options, etc.? I mean, this is, everybody likes it, although we do not recommend it. At Ditto, it's something that, you know, that flexibility is nice to have. So do they have these options as well?
They do. They offer the usual free riders or add-ons that most companies offer.
Got it.
They offer terminal illness where in case you have a condition where you have less than 6 months left to live, HDFC would disperse a sum of up to 2 crores.
Got it.
100% of 2 crores of your sum insured.
Got it.
They do have the zero cost benefit where after a certain amount of time, let's say 30 or 35 years, I can choose to exit my plan and take back whatever I've paid them.
Got it.
They even have life stage benefit where, you know, once I buy the plan in the future, in case I get married or have kids, I do have the option to go back to them and increase my sum insured as well due to these certain life events that have occurred.
And this increase is subject to some conditions, pre-imposed conditions, right?
Your medical and financial underwriting. They would evaluate all things once again and then decide.
And I pay higher premiums as is. But it's a nice option to have. And is there something unique that, you know, HDFC Life does that nobody else does, especially with this Click2Protect Super plan? Is there anything super about this?
I won't say something very unique, but something I've personally liked about their plan is this disability rider that they offer, an accident disability rider.
Got it.
It's called the income benefit on accident disability.
Got it.
So they don't give you a lump sum in that situation. They don't give you a lump sum payout. They do give you a monthly income over a span of 10 years.
Oh, nice.
So in case there's a disability that occurred due to an accident, you can expect to be financially taken care of for the next 10 years.
Okay.
And this could even be to the tune of 1 or 2 lakhs a month.
Oh, nice.
And disability riders generally come at a very low cost.
Got it.
Considering the kind of scenarios they talk about, right? Where you're eligible for this payout.
Got it.
It's a bit extreme, right? I mean, losing limbs and things like that.
Right.
But nonetheless, the financial support that they're offering does seem quite
It's
attractive.
nice. Yep. Got it. All right. So features wise, I think this looks very comprehensive as a product, as you would expect from a brand like HDFC. But when it comes to brand, usually we've seen that the premiums are slightly expensive. Is it true for HDFC Life as well as it is with HDFC Ergo, the general insurance company? Or is there a difference here? Does HDFC purvey its products at a cheaper rate? How does the premiums look like?
So sometimes it depends profile based.
Got it.
If you're looking for a low cover amount of just 1 crore or 50 lakhs for a young person,
Got it.
I would say the premiums are quite competitive with
it.
the likes of ICICI and other leading players.
Right.
Should you increase the sum insured, then yes, I have seen HDFC does tend to come at a slight premium.
Got it.
In fact, another reason they gave us for this was that being the largest private insurer out there, during COVID, they ended up paying the most amount of claims.
Okay.
So the reinsurer was putting a bit of pressure in them to hike up their prices.
So basically their insurance company.
Their insurance company did ask them to hike up their premiums a couple of times.
Got it.
So I think for that reason, they do come at a slight premium charge.
Got it.
But not across the board. You will find certain profiles, certain combinations where they are competitive.
Got it. For women and smokers, any difference in premiums, or is it, competitive when it comes to, the market rates and what HDFC quotes?
For women, I think it's quite competitive. No significant or major difference. Once again, certain profiles you might find it a bit at a premium charge.
Understood.
For smokers, I think, yes, that's where HDFC does tend to lose out.
Right.
Because how they've designed this latest product is, let's say in the industry, right? On average, every insurance company charges a premium of about 50-60% for a smoker.
Got it.
HDFC's kept it at a flat 100%.
Okay.
So for me, if I go as a non-smoker, my premium is, let's say, 20,000 a year.
Right.
But if I disclose that I do consume tobacco, I now pay 40,000 a year.
Got it.
Flat, right?
Got
There's no difference there.
As a smoker, then you really have to reconsider HDFC Life as a term insurance.
Or your smoking habits.
Or your smoking habits. Perhaps that is a better alternative. Fair enough. Any other drawbacks? Okay, we've talked about the features. Okay, the premiums are slightly expensive, but anything else that customers should be wary about before buying Click2Protect Super, right? Anything else that comes
Nothing
to mind?
really comes to mind. I mean, it is a very comprehensive, very simply designed term plan that's, available out there.
So the only drawback then is premiums and perhaps, the amount settlement ratio that we talked about earlier, nothing else specifically. One final question that I do have is, at Ditto, we place a major emphasis on brand value, especially with life insurance, right? Because it's such an important product. You won't even be there to claim the benefits of a product that you paid for. And that comes with a lot of baggage. So we say that HDFC as a brand perhaps takes the cake there simply because of, the superiority of the brand recognition and stuff like that. But what about other brands like Tata, for instance? Tata invokes the same degree of trust. Why is it that we've generally at Ditto or advisors at Ditto have recommended HDFC over or ICICI over, say, a Tata, right? What is sort of the rationale there?
So I think with Tata, at least when we started Ditto 3 years ago, right? As well reputed and as large a player Tata is out there in the market, that life insurance segment, Tata AIA, is still a relatively new and up and coming player.
Got it.
So when we started Ditto 3 years ago, they weren't even in the top 5 life insurers out there.
Got it.
Now we monitor these metrics every year, right? IRDA's report comes out every year and our team goes through it and tries to analyze. And that's where we have slowly been observing that yes, Tata has been building its name.
Got it.
Which was expected, right? The kind of prestige that they come with. They have been able to build that market share that I'm sure even they wanted to. So I think now we're at a point where we can proudly say that Ditto's also in the process of onboarding Tata.
Got it.
So we had no reason other than the fact that, look, while it was a reputed player, they were still a relatively small player in the life insurance segment.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I buy life insurance for peace of mind.
Correct.
Right? Wanting to believe that 30, 40 years later, my family is not going to face a hassle.
Correct.
Now, there was that small risk that, hey, what if Tata's life insurance segment never took off? Right. While Tata has excelled in every industry that they've entered to, maybe they didn't, you would leave them that benefit of doubt that maybe in life insurance they weren't able to.
Got it.
And for us at Ditto, it's important because we want to be able to guarantee that to our customers as well.
Correct. That's important.
That when it comes down to it, we'll be there with you. We'll be able to work with the brand and help your family out.
So we should have the belief then, ultimately,
Absolutely.
right?
At the end of the day, that's important too. So I think, we're proudly and confidently in a position now to onboard them, and I think we're almost done with that process.
Yeah, I mean that's glad to know, and I think this gives us a lot of context about HDFC Life as a brand and the product as well, right? Click2Protect Super. So yeah, hopefully this video was insightful, useful, and if you're considering the plan, don't forget to talk to our advisors. You can find the link in the description box below. Just book a free call. Have a conversation with one of our advisors. Maybe Sushant will also answer your call. You never know. And they'll be able to guide you, tell you specifically how to go about filling your term application, which products you should buy, which riders are recommended for you. And finally, if something were to happen, be it with the application process or the claims process, there'll somebody always be there to hold your hand. So yeah, don't forget to book a free call and let us know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel. I know a lot of people watch these videos but don't subscribe to the channel. So please subscribe to this channel. And like always, we'll see you again with another video, and hopefully it will be even more insightful than this one. Until then, happy insurance hunting.